It's week 4 of the National Football League, and our focus is on the Lions' speedy running back. He was steady for him on the ground a week ago, reaching the century mark and adding a score. It's the Lions and the Packers on Thursday night primetime.
This is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Tonight it's on to week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
If you're running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Look at the juke. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. So much for staying ahead of the chains with a 3 or 4 yard gain on first down. They move the chains with a nice little run.
Yeah, they're making the chain gang hustle a little bit to try and keep up, aren't they? Because a lot of the first series of games are scripted, many times to probe and find some holes in the defense. Sometimes you attack with some big-time runs, too.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. A guy coming off a career high in rushing yards last year. Here's Aaron Jones. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The Packers at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week.
Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. 13 yards, first down Packers.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Forced out to his left. And this is caught. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. And that one results in 35 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Jones. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. And the QB rating right now, sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right.
high
That's
mark.
the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Anders Carlson now for the point after. And now it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So here are the Lions now as they get set for their opening drive. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points. And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Here's Hall. Caught right side. It's Lewis. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Hey! 6-0 our score after 1. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Hall to throw it. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Here's Hall. Rolling to his right. And that's caught inside the 30. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. That one goes for 36 yards.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
Shrugs him off, and he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Throwing here is Hall. Flushed out right. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
Now Hall. Toward the sideline, intercepted.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. They take over here with good field position thanks to that nice return after the interception, as they're already in the red zone, 1st and 10. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Gray out to the flat here for Johnson. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Patterson's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now it's Hall. Flush to his right. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Lewis. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Hall. On the move to his left. That's caught by the rookie, Jaden Reed. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Called on a very strong gain of 24. Back to throw, Hall. Sliding out of the pocket. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, Charles, thanks very much. Welcome in, everybody, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's take a look at what we've got on tap as we wrap up the first quarter of the NFL season. Some great games coming up this weekend. One being the kickoff to the International Series, the Falcons and Jaguars over in Wembley at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Good games in the late afternoon as well, one being out in Santa Clara, where it'll be the 49ers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. And then one more to highlight, Monday Night Football. That'll be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Giants. These two teams going through their final adjustments. It's about time for the second half in Green Bay. So for the call, we go back up to Lambeau and Brandon Guy.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Now a play fake here on first down. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Back to throw. Gray escaping the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown from 6 yards away. And the Lions are an extra point away from capturing the lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Riley Patterson now for the extra point. And that one puts them on top here in the third. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. Look at him go inside the 30. take this all the way. Touchdown!
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now the touchback's coming back to the 25 instead of the 20. When guys field it that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. Now a two-point conversion attempt forthcoming. They'll try and throw for it. They'll roll him out right. And this will be caught as they convert here for two. So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is. And I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have two-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. So out now come the Lions. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Off the play fake. Gray, he'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 39 yards there, a big one. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Johnson. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
To the end zone, touchdown Detroit. A great effort there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the 3rd.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that will level the playing field at 17 all. (17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Nixon now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the 2nd half. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Off play action. Hall rolling to his right. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the third quarter. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped it.
And it's blocked. The Lions pick it up, but he will not be able to bring this one back, in the extra point attempt unsuccessful. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter, and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a fourth quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great play there, with his second touchdown of the night. And the Lions are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the fourth. And that CD, one heck of a run. He just refused to go down.
And that's where determination comes in, because he had at least a couple of guys had really good shots at him, but he just said, I don't think so. Speed, power, elusiveness, all on display right there. Look like you, partner, back in your salad days in Evansville.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And now the Packers get set to go. Now the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back. A first down run here by Jones as he'll take it forward for a gain of about 4.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
He hits his target, the tight end Lewis. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield. but they never did.
On 2nd and 10, Hall. And Lewis has it, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Shifts by him. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Off the play fake. Hall out to his left. Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. 23 yards to pick up there.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Sliding out of the pocket. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And next time, Brandon, I think you might want to consider running it because those defensive backs, they were plastered to the receivers, and they weren't letting up as that play went on.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
What a kickoff to the week this has been. Now a big play. It's 3rd down.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down, but they are in field goal range already. They'll go again to Jones. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And it's a Packers touchdown.
Aaron Jones
From 4 yards out. And the Packers answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
So now the Lions down by 7, a minute 40 remaining. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on first down. Buying time to his left.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to. It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
He's back to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10.
Back to throw. They'll roll him out right. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
This is 1st and 10.
Forced out to his left. the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter.
Patterson now for the extra point.
And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. Nixon now from his end zone.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They are already in field goal range. Let's see how they want to play this, Charles.
And I have a feeling I know how they want to play this already. Run the football to the hash mark that works best for their kicker. They already have the field goal unit lined up, ready to run out there and go get it done. They practice this, they understand the situation, and with that amount of time, they can do it.
Let's see how they carry it over into the game.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Could this be the drive that ultimately wins the game? How about the initiative he just took there? Running with it after he couldn't find a throwing lane, and he drove them into range for a game-winning field goal with that play. What an opportunity they've been presented to come through with the win.
And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So they tried to ice him there, but it's fair to say it did not have the intended effect.
And I've known kickers that take it as an affront. And there he says, you think you're going to rattle me? Think again.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
This ball intercepted. And the Packers are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Green Bay, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they're going to fall to 3-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.